Okay, when it comes to web design in 2024, there's really three main tools people are using nowadays. Figma, Adobe XD, and Sketch. These are the most popular ones. Photoshop and Illustration. I mean, they're popular, but I don't think a lot of people use them for UI UX design and web design in general. Illustrator works for logos, but Photoshop not really. It's mostly a tool for image manipulation and stuff like that. So yeah, but let's just go through all of them and see which one would be the best for you if you want to get started with design and are looking for a design tool to get into. And yeah, so the first topic from our list, which one is the most popular? If you look at the Google Trends, you'll see that, I mean, Figma is by far the most popular tool uh, compared to Adobe XD and Sketch. Now, another difference is that Sketch, for example, is only available for Mac devices, Mac OS, which, I mean, is something you need to be aware of, I guess, because if you're using a Windows, you won't be able to use Sketch. Another thing is that Adobe XD might be discontinued. I'm not sure, but they stopped posting updates, and Adobe tried to buy Figma. It's still not, the deal is not finalized, but basically things are uncertain. Yeah, it's just another thing to keep in mind, that Adobe XD might get discontinued. So you might, I mean, I would personally just not get into Adobe and use Adobe and just go straight to using Figma. But let's talk about some more things about these three tools. So, which one is the best? I mean, in my opinion, they are all. I mean, some of them have like minor differences, but all three of them are good for UI UX design, and they are tools which you can use. I mean, they do pretty much the same exact thing, more or less. So all of them are good enough for UI UX design and whatever you need for web design. You will probably be able to do it with any of these three tools. Yeah, you can look into this table. You can copy the URL and look into like all the stuff that's different between them through the table. I'm not gonna get into it, but the point is, I would say 90% of the features are all available like on any of these apps, so you should be fine. No, that shouldn't be a decision that's gonna affect your I don't know, your thought process, I guess. Okay, best for the jobs. If you want to get hired, I mean, assuming you want to get hired, like want to work full time, and so it would probably be a big advantage if the company you want to work at is already using the software you're learning or you already know, because if a company uses Figma and you work with Sketch, I mean, that's probably not going to work, because that specific company will probably want someone, I mean, would want all the designers to be on the same page, on the same platform. So yeah, so I mean, if you take that into account and then look at the usage, I mean, you're way more likely to find jobs if you know Figma than if you would know Sketch. There's obviously exceptions. I don't know, maybe if the company is working for like iPhone apps or like stuff like that, maybe Sketch would be an advantage. But like statistically, you're more likely to find work as a Figma designer instead, like compared to Adobe XD or like a Sketch designer, from that specific perspective. Like if you know that specific tool. Okay, next thing, best for you. I mean, again, you can look into all three of them. Figma is the only one free at the moment, but you can give it a try. Try all three of them. See which one is the easiest for you to learn. It's really subjective, so this is really like your decision. In my opinion, I think Adobe XD was like the cleanest, the most minimalistic. I haven't really tried Sketch because I'm not on a Mac, but as far as I've seen in some videos, I would probably say that XD is the most minimalistic, more probably easiest to use, and then Figma and Sketch. I don't know necessarily the order, but yeah. But again, it really depends on you and what feels easiest for you. Now, when it comes to tutorials, guides, resources, plugins, community-made design files, and stuff like that, packs. Uh, I mean, since Figma is the most popular tool, there's obviously going to be more resources available. Okay, there's going to be more tutorials for you to learn, more tricks, more plugins, more icon. I mean, icon packs. I mean, they're basically SVGs. Doesn't matter. But the point is, the more users an app has, the more stuff you're probably going to expect to find as freebies or like open source or like guides and tutorials and stuff like that. So I would say Figma would definitely be the better option from this perspective. Uh, yeah. So conclusion. Again, all like everything I say, and these are just my opinions. Stuff is subjective, I guess. But when it comes to, like I said, web design and UI UX design, except for logos and illustrations where people use Illustrator, I mean, these are the most popular tools: Figma, XD, and Sketch. There's more of them, obviously, but they're not that popular at the moment. And like I said, popularity is, in my opinion, a big factor because it's an advantage when it comes to finding jobs, and I guess working with multiple people. It's important for you to be on the same page and on the same software. Uh, if I were so, I initially started with XD like 4 years ago. Like I don't know when it first came up and it was free. It was still in beta. I liked it. I switched from Photoshop to XD, and I liked it really a lot, really much. I don't know. Yeah, and then Figma came up, and it started like if you look at the charts, like in 2019, uh, Figma basically overtook 18, I guess, overtook Adobe XD. Uh, and then I've noticed that, I mean, I gave it a try, and then I've noticed that Figma has a few extra features that were slightly better than XD. And I decided to just try Figma, and then I completely switched, and I'm using Figma at the moment. So, in conclusion, in my opinion, if I were you, a beginner designer or like someone who's looking to get into design, I would just personally, I would just go with Figma. If you want to design stuff exclusively for Apple and Mac OS, or like the Apple ecosystem, you can try Sketch, I guess. Uh, but I wouldn't personally get into Adobe XD at this point. But like I said, I would just go with Figma just to be on the safe side. It has way more plugins, way more resources, a lot of guides, a lot of stuff, community-made plugins and resources. Like I said, uh, it's easier to get into because of these resources, right? You don't know something, you can just Google it. I mean, in theory, you should be able to find answers on Google for any of these apps, but it's way more likely to find answers for Figma than any of the other ones, just because it's more popular. Uh, yeah. So, like I said, this was my take. In my opinion, I would just go with Figma. Uh, I mean, it's free to use. It's a freemium. I mean, you have the opportunity to try it out for free. There is a free plan. XD at the moment isn't. I mean, they used to have one, but now they don't have it anymore. I guess it's the most expensive one if you want to use the paid plan. But personally, I'm still on the free plan, and I've been a designer for like 8 years now. I don't know. Uh, yeah. So anyway, to summarize, I would personally just go with Figma because I think like I said, more popular, and uh, it has way more resources and stuff like that, which are useful in the long run, and will probably get you more. Like you would be in an advantage by knowing Figma compared to the other tools, just because uh, employers will probably be interested in people that are on the same page and on the same software. So, anyway, this was my take. I don't know, just my opinion again. I might be wrong, but at the moment, this is what I would personally do if I were to start all over again. So, Anyway, I hope this video helps, and good luck with your design journey, I guess.